it doesn't feel like October yet. And not just because it was 90 degrees today. Yeah, it is October 1st, and this day is always kind of a sad one. Not kind of, it's always a sad one, because it means that we're not going to see each other every single day like we kind of got used to, and it means that we're not gonna talk as much and do as much creative stuff. But it also means a lot less stress, and it's getting closer to Halloween, and it's always it's an emotional day no matter what. And I think this year is no exception. And I also think this was a weird VEDS. Like, not weird as in bad, but just like, it was weird. I mean, it was our first VEDS without an original Vency, which was sad and weird and kind of nice that it's lasting longer than the people, you know? It was our first VEDS in a long time where we didn't have a trailer challenge. It was the first VEDS that I can remember where there were multiple girl Vedsies. I mean, when I started out, there were no girl Vedsies, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it was weird and good and hard. But I don't want to talk about that yet. I don't want to talk about me yet. It's kind of a thing that we all, at the end of VEDS, say our favorite thing that the other Vedsies did. And yeah, it's no exception this year. Starting off with our newest Vedsie, Alicia. It was so hard to pick which of your videos was my favorite, because you had so many that I just loved. They were such a different style than what we usually do here, and I think that it definitely challenged me creatively, and I think that we all leaned in a different direction this VEDS, and I think you had a lot to do with it. That being said, I'm a little biased, but the Gestalt prayer video was perfect that day. It just really meant a lot to me, and you have come to mean a lot to me, like all of the Vedsies, but you very quickly cemented yourself as somebody who I really like. Matthew. I'm not gonna do what everybody else is doing, not because I'm stubborn and contrary. I am also stubborn and contrary, but I loved the 5 People You Meet in Heaven Ultimate Book Club recommendation video. Have I read that book? No. Has that ever stopped me from watching one of your videos? No. Honestly, Matt, I can just listen to you talk about anything for an extended period of time and enjoy myself. Like, you just have really great insight and a really nice way of speaking that I find enjoyable. So when you get that book published, do an audiobook too, because that would be lit. And also, I'm so happy that you've got something like, yes, come so far. James, I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't get to watching that much of your stuff. Not only have I been taking 17 credit hours, that includes my 2 night classes and doing a show, I also get headaches when I watch or play video games. Like, I can't do it for more than 20 minutes. But your dedication, oh my god. I respect the hell out of your dedication. And I did watch the reviews, and the Back to the Future one was really cool. I'm totally biased because I love Back to the Future, but it was also a really solid review. To the best of my understanding, I don't understand video games very well, but I understood what you meant more often than not, and for somebody who doesn't understand video games, I think that's a sign of a pretty good review. Caleb. Let's see. Well, for starters, hashtag justice for Psy. You're right. I mean, you're just right. But that wasn't my favorite video, even though that was the one I challenged you for. My favorite were the Disney Best and Worst videos. You might know that I kind of love Disney. I might like it a little. And the conversations that were coming out of that were really cool, and you had points that I usually don't hear in Disney-related conversations. Setting it up as a time period by time period thing was really helpful because you didn't just get to be like, and all the movies from this decade suck. Sorry, this decade. You actually had to look at it all. And that was really cool. But you were right about one thing. Mortimer Snurd is the scariest character in Disney history. And yes, everybody, Mortimer Snurd is a real fucking name in a real Disney movie. I just love it. Mortimer Snurd. It just needs to, people need to remember, this is not something we can forget. We let this happen. People bought tickets to this. But yeah, Caleb, you are so talented and always have just such a great way of analyzing things way more logically than I ever could. And it's always really interesting to hear what you have to say about things. And last but never ever 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 least is Jeffrey. Jeffrey, first off, so happy that you got through Act 1 of Into the Woods and were able to finish Once More with Feeling this VEDS. Great job. So happy. But that being said, my favorite video was the asexuality rant. Because that shit hurted. Unfortunately, that's the truth right now. And I don't think it'll be the truth forever, but it's nice hearing other people feeling similar ways. Even though I don't want people to suffer, it's nice to know that we're in the same boat. One might say we're all in this together. You guys have done some seriously cool shit this VEDS. And it makes me even more appreciative of how nice everybody's been, because this September was a roller coaster. I mean, it always is, but it was not easy emotionally. But you guys have been really, really, really nice. And I feel bad because I wanted to get more good content out. I wanted to do more exciting stuff. I wanted to experiment with a little more. And I think I did really well. But I also wish I could have done more. I mean, the videos this year were definitely better quality than the other two times. Not that impressive if you remember my first VEDS. But like, I wish I could have done a little more. I might do a couple other things that I started on. I I need to learn how to edit on a real editing software and not iMovie attached to my iPad for free, but you might see some stuff. You might see some stuff. Yeah. September ends, October comes. It's always sad to see it go. And so I thought I would read the other thing I thought about doing for yesterday's video before I realized I had way too much footage and it would be a waste of it. So I'm just gonna read a little something I copied into here. It might sound a little familiar. Nature's first greenest gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaf's a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so even sank to grief. So dawn goes down to day, nothing gold can stay. Stay gold, my friends.